It's a crazy thing to figure out, though. It's like that you figured it out, and you didn't just figure it out, you embraced it. Like when you were talking about your senior year of high school, when you're talking about your mirror being your accountability mirror, like you had a radical shift. Like you just decided to not be a fucking loser, and to start tightening up and start holding yourself accountable and get ready for things. Wouldn't it be amazing if we gave someone an opportunity to say, this is what I did, this is how awful I feel about this, I would never do that again, I'm a different person, that was 20 years ago, whatever it was, and have everybody join in. Hey, anyone could be you. Thank you for being honest about who you are now. Thank you for evolving. Thank you for expressing yourself in a way that maybe other people who have also committed really just unsavory or just unfortunate things in the past, unfortunate acts in the past, they can feel relieved by the fact that you've grown and evolved to become a better person. And that you're a different thing now, and you are the product of all of your experiences. You're not this one thing. You're not stuck in who you were when you were 16 years old. If you were Marky Mark and you hit that guy with a stick, whatever he did, you're not stuck in that spot forever. These don't it's not a scarlet letter. It's not a mark on your forehead that you keep for life. Well, when I was 21 and I was first starting to do comedy, that's when I was really devouring as much of it as possible, because I was trying to figure out like how to not be so lazy, how to be motivated, how to get shit done, and how to like find the correct path and think about things correctly. I would follow all this personal power, like you had workshops that you would do, like little like notebooks and shit. Fill out, and things to talk about and things to concentrate on. Like if you did do it, it would help you. But really what it's all about is just getting your shit together and moving. Just go do something. Like what you did by taking a job when you would show up at a gig and you'd be working there Tuesday through Sunday and then take a day job and work 9 to 5. That is more hustle and more hustle mindset than anything you're ever going to get out of an Anthony Robbins book. Like that is like just doing it. Just doing it makes you do more. Like do more hard shit makes you do more hard shit. Understanding that you want it bad, so you're willing to put into work and do things you don't want to do. It's what makes you have the confidence that you know how to push through, and the mentality that I'm the type of dude to get shit done. Like I'm not gonna waste my day just sitting around a fucking hotel room. No, I'm gonna go to work. I'm going to work all day. I'm going to drive 5 hours and keep that radio gig, and then drive 5 hours and spend 10 hours of the fucking 24 in a day in a goddamn car to do gigs. When you get successful at something, the best thing that it does is alleviate stress. But it doesn't change the motivation. Motivation is always to create something that I like, that I can be proud of, that the people enjoy most importantly. There's a bunch of people that watch my stand-up. I gotta work at it. I don't want to be an asshole. I don't want to be that guy that you come to see my show and you go, he didn't prepare, he didn't care, he didn't try. They force you to this school, you don't want to learn. But then when you get out, you realize like, oh, this actually benefits me. This is making me a better person. This is making me wiser. Experience, and it's your life's lessons. But the fact that a guy like you comes out and talks about it like that, that's where it makes it really powerful, because it's not just something that you learn from, but now other people can learn from your past too, and they look at themselves. That most men live lives of quiet desperation. It's one of my favorite quotes ever, because it's true, and I've been that guy. You have an apartment you have to pay for, you have a car you leased, you have a wife that you have to feed, you have a child you have to raise, you have your mortgage, you have your this, you have your that, and that's where it all comes from. Well, the opportunity takes place usually when you're young and you don't have any responsibility. That's when you have your options. Well, your options are severely limited the more you gather responsibilities. Like, if I had to, as a 51-year-old father of 3, married man, pays taxes, has a house and a mortgage and a business and all that jazz, if I had to quit everything now and struggle the way I struggled as a stand-up comedian, it would never work. But the only way I could be this person now is if I took that chance when I was 21, when I was dead broke and had my cars repossessed and all that stuff. That's the only way you ever get where you want to go. You have to take a path that's dangerous, and most people want to take the safe path. The safe path leaves you stuck in quiet desperation. Almost every time. It's hell. The way you can change is you have to put aside enough money to give yourself a window. And then you have to have a plan. And you have to spend all your waking hours outside of whatever shit job you do planning your escape. And you have to come to the realization very clearly that you fucked up and you got yourself stuck. So whatever you're doing, you have to do it like your life depends on it. And whether it is you're trying to be an author and if you're gonna try to be an author and you're working 8 hours a day plus commuting plus family responsibilities or whatever else you have, whatever time that you have to attack like you're trying to save the world. You're trying to save your life. You don't want to drown. That 1.5 hours a day that you have to write, god damn, you better be caffeinated and motivated. You got to go. You got to get after it. And you got to have discipline. Most people don't have those things. Most people don't understand what it's like to really go for something. And to know that the consequences of not doing that are horrific. I grew up poor too. We were on welfare and food stamp, the whole deal when I was a little kid. And that always stuck in my head, this thought like we might not have enough food. Like I remember thinking that when I was little, like what if we don't have any food? My kids will never feel that. They don't understand what that is. And everybody that I've ever met that's interesting came from some crazy struggle. The ego, or do you need to have the desire to achieve excellence? Is that always the ego? Can you do that without the self? Can you do that just as a task, as a goal, and be completely committed and single-minded in your approach to try to achieve excellence? Can you do that without the ego? Can you do it as a project? Can you do it as a task? John Danaher wrote some really fascinating piece on his Instagram about routine, about how important it is if you're a great athlete. He said, you find me a great athlete, I'll find you someone whose life is governed by routine. And that this is the way to check progress, and this is the way to constantly be moving towards your goal. Many days where I didn't want to work out. I just didn't feel like I had the energy, and I just forced myself. And I think there's very few people out there that know how to force themselves. That's a learned skill. It's that kind of discipline and focus. You have to have like real rigid requirements of yourself where you don't allow yourself to back out of things and you don't allow yourself to slack off. And I don't think people put those kind of requirements on themselves as if it is a daily principle of life, like what you must get done. You know, you must brush your teeth, you must exercise for 45 minutes. And if you did that, I think you'd be healthier and happier, and your body would perform more smoothly. Always evaluating your perspective on life and always looking at things from meditate, constantly meditate. Make sure that you approach life with a learned perspective, like you're a better person than you were the day before, and whatever you're trying to do, whether it's fighting or whether you have an art form that you practice, whatever it is that you're doing, you're trying to do better every day.